Hey, this is Pastor Laf. Thanks for joining me today. We're in Psalm chapter 64. Psalm chapter 64, starting in verse 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my meditation. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret plots of the wicked, from the rebellion of the workers of iniquity, who sharpen their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the blameless. Suddenly they shoot at him and do not fear. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They talk of laying snares secretly. They say, who will see them? They devise iniquities. We have perfected a shrewd scheme. Both the inward thought and the heart of man are deep. But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. So he will make them stumble over their own tongue. All who see them shall flee away. All men shall fear, and shall declare the work of God. For they shall wisely consider his doing. The righteous shall be glad in the Lord and trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. Another great psalm. Here we are in verse 1 again. Hear my voice, O God, in my meditation. As I read that, it came across to me in a way that I hadn't thought of it before. Typically in the Old Testament, the word meditation means to mutter, not to sit around and hum, cross your legs, and fold your hands. It means to mutter, means to speak kind of under your breath. I hear David saying, Lord, as I am reciting your word, as I am calling forth your word, your promises, the things that you said about your promises, as I repeat them over and over, Lord, hear me. Hear my voice. Hear my voice calling. He says, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. You know, there's a principle in here that perhaps many of us don't understand. David is saying, preserve my life from fear of the enemy. He didn't say from the enemy alone. And I look at this and wonder if David isn't saying, Lord, I'm in fear. I don't know what's going to happen next. Sometimes I'm mad at myself because I don't know why I'm feeling like this. Why am I so overly concerned? Why am I so afraid of who might be plotting against me or saying things against me? Lord, it's like I'm paranoid. It's fear, Lord. It's fear of the enemy. I know I have enemies. Why am I afraid of the enemy? Why am I fearful? Fear has gripped me. And I think that might be what he's saying here. And so when you add that with the first part of verse 1, you understand that what David is doing is to counter the fear, is to quote the promise. Listen to me. To counter the fear, David is quoting the promise. This is crucial for you to understand. You know, faith is something that starts, is something that we have to spiritually grasp, but the enemy of faith is our mind. Saying that God can't, God won't, it's going to fail, it's going to falter, it's going to sink, it's not going to make it. And when we feel like that, and when we live like that, it begins to drain our faith. So what is David doing to encourage himself in the faith? He's speaking the promises of God. And he's saying, hear me, Lord. You know what I'm doing. Father, I've got this fear issue, and I'm upset with it. And I know you are too. I'm upset with it. And so I'm speaking your promises, oh God, so hear my voice. Know, Lord, that I'm doing the work. That, Father, I'm doing what you've told me to do. That I'm meditating on your word. That I'm muttering your word. That I'm speaking your word day and night. Father, because of that, Lord, help me and preserve me. Preserve my life from this fear that's trying to overtake me. Help me to overcome. You know, He will do the same for you. But meditate. I didn't say cross your legs. I didn't say hum. But speak His word and His promises. He's faithful. God bless you. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye.